Welcome back, everybody. Again, I'm Kurt Roskoff with the World Ability Podcast Network, bringing you this next segment of Blue Collar Crypto Show created by Tim Torosian. And we got co-hosting here by Neil Weber. And so we had a great segment that ended an hour ago, and now we're going to do another quick wrap up. We've got about 5 or 6 minutes of Neil's time, so we're going to get right into it. All right, Neil, what do you have? For the next 5 plus minutes, what do you have for this segment of blue collar crypto and everything we're doing with it?
Yeah, well, I'd like to continue on the subject we talked about earlier, which was the role of government in our lives. And I believe that government is too invasive, and I want to see government restricted in that reality. And the way to do that is through the ballot box. And I think we need to endure the next 2 years of Trump, and then we need to vote in a blue wave of Democratic lawmakers. I never thought I'd say that because I'm ardently pro-life, but I do believe we need a Democratic, which is not, is not a pro-life party. We need a Democratic philosophy to counter the extreme right, cult-centered philosophy under Trump. The president, the current Republican Party is not truly the Republican of the Republic of Reagan or the Republic of old. It's a republic. It's a party dominated by the cult of personality, which is Make America Great Again, also known as Donald Trump.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have some serious business to take care of, and we got somebody who can be serious. Tim Torosian, welcome to your show. We got 5 minutes left with Neil Weber. What do you want to do with the 5 minutes that Neil has for you?
Well, I guess sometimes politics is style over substance. So is it the style that maybe Neil doesn't like the style of Donald Trump?
Yeah, it's a radical departure from previous administrations. Even Trump's previous administration was much more balanced than it is currently. And I think he was successful from 16 to 20 because he focused on the positive. Now he's being very divisive, and I don't think he's going to accomplish much in this next 4 years. Anything good, that is.
He said that he wanted to bring us together.
Well, he's not doing that with his current policies. Yes, his current policies are very divisive. And his partnership with Elon Musk is very troubling.
Yeah, Elon Musk has already got $1 trillion. He could easily up that with government contracts. Elon could have $20 trillion.
Well, he's going to have a lot of money. But my concern more than about the money is the power.
Right. Saying what you want to do, and then we all have to do what you say.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's funny that you feel that way because, it's there are so many people that don't. That I want to get somebody that voted for Trump, and I want him to talk. If we could bring somebody like that on the show, and I'd kind of like to hear it from the other side.
Sure.
Or the side that you and I are kind of opposed to. Let's hear what let's find out what their philosophy is, and because I have a friend like that, and I keep my mouth shut because we're friends,
Sure.
and I don't want to talk politics with her because I'm like, didn't Joe Biden do a lot of good while he was president? I thought he did.
Yeah.
I thought he tried to touch on as much as he could, do as much as he could.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to all go get electric cars like Joe said.
Sure.
I think the trend is there. But hey, there was a Tesla car that crashed into a tree in where I live, and five people died. 5 people died in that crash because they explode. They go on fire. The batteries they're explosive, and they start a fire, and you have to have special. You have to quickly get there and put it out, and the fire department needs special extinguishers. There's for that kind of fire. And I think it's a time thing. 5 people died. You know, the tree didn't move. The tree didn't move for them. You know, it just stayed. Yeah, and so I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing this show or next show, right?
Yeah, let's talk more next show. I want to read up more on the politics this week. I'm going to spend some time each day and read up on politics so that I can have a conversation with you about that. I encourage you to educate yourself as well.
Yeah, I stopped watching the news. I thought maybe you heard what, and so I hear this stuff and I go, because it's so ridiculous sounding to me that I decided to not listen to it anymore.
Sure.
Because it doesn't jive with what I think is government. It doesn't make sense. When Joe Biden did it, it made sense because I think. And the reason it made sense when Joe did it is because he's had 50 years of government experience.
Sure.
And then Trump is like, well, he was president for 4 years. That's not quite enough.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'll see you next week. I mean, no problem. If you want to. See you then. Okay.
All right, Tim, anything else for today's show?
No, was that the show right there?
Yeah, we were running the show. We got started when Neil was on, so we're still in show. So I don't know if you just want to wrap up or if you had more to deliver for today's show.
Yeah, I do. For everybody that has a retirement account, I do have something, and that's most of us, right? It's almost all of us have an IRA or through our job a 401k. We have the ability to opt out of that. Not that our retirement package in a corporation is fine. A 401k is a pretty good program, but if you want more control, you can remove yourself from that. It's voluntary, and you can get 30% a year. And when I say 30% a year, I have to go through this exercise. I have to explain this. What does that mean? Let's say you have 100,000 in your 401k, and you're like, it's getting bigger. But here's what you can do. You can take that out. You can put that into your own 401k or your own Roth IRA. It's taxed when you retire, when you decide, 59.5. That's when you tax it. Anywhere up to like 70, I think you have to take it all out by 70. So the amount in the fund grows without taxation. So if you earn 30,000, they don't take taxes out of that. That's you're earning in your fund, like they do at your job, right? So what you do is, I have to go through this exercise for the show, because when I say 30%, people don't understand what 30% is. I don't know. They didn't learn this. They didn't teach you this in school. And But everybody has one of these, regardless of what you understand. You have to learn this. If you want to make money, you have to learn what a percent really means. So let's say you take your funds out, you get start your own, you get 30% your first year, which is roughly 3% a month. That's an easier way. You know, your money grows at 3% a month. That's 36%, but let's go a year. So let's say 30%. 100,000 is what you have in your retirement account in year one. Year two, you have 130. In year three, 160. Year four, 200. Year five, 260. Year six, you have 26. Oh my God. Year six, you have 80 plus 80. 340. Year seven, you have 440. Year eight, you have 440,000. Year seven. Year eight, you have 560. Year nine, you have 700. Yeah. And year 10, you have so within 10 years, you go from 100,000 to 900,000. Let me just repeat that, because we don't need to go fast here. This is a 30% return on your money. And your first year, you're in control and you earn 30% on that. Now, in 10 years, you go from 100,000, which you can't retire on, to 1 million in 10 years. 100,000 turns into $1 million. That's the whole exercise we're doing here. We're turning 100,000 of retirement money to $1 million in retirement. Well, 900 and something, right? 100, we're turning 100,000 into 1 million. And then you can retire on that in 10 years. Whereas in a retirement account, you might have a negative year. You could have a crash, like they had retirement accounts in the year 2008, where the whole market went down. But you have some freedom when you take it out to put it into stocks that will appreciate. Like, for example, Netflix went up about 30 or 40%, you know, within a year, right? Or so. But there's a lot of good investment opportunities out there. There are programs out there that will grow your money at 36% a year. You know, so 36% a year is no joke, right? They're put into Forex funds, and so you can do 30% a year. It's not incredibly hard. What did Warren Buffett do at the age of 60 to age of 65? That's when he built his fortune, in his 60s. It's hard to believe, but I mean, I think he's 90 now or something, but he did it while he was in the 60s. It's really never too late. The numbers are impressive. We just went from 100,000 to 1 million. That's a very impressive run, and it's not impossible to do. I recommend the Motley Fool, that anybody wants to know how to pick stocks. Is the Motley Fool picks them for you. They picked Netflix to go up. You know, they picked Amazon. They picked all the winners. Shopify, I believe. So sometimes you need help, but there are really good investments out there for your retirement funds. So that's the end of the show. All right. For this week.
Sounds good.
We'll be back next week.
We'll look forward to next week, Sunday.
Neil.
Very good, Neil. Or Tim, I mean.
Neil.
Tim, sorry, Tim.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, we had Tim and Neil on here giving us this final segment of Blue Collar Crypto. Always a great way to start the week, folks, with the Sunday evening format, 4 o'clock Central and 5:30 Central. So 4 o'clock Central and 5:30 Central every week Sunday, Blue Collar Crypto Show
Here
right
comes the sun.
at the World of
Here
Ability
comes the sun.
Network. And I'm Kurt Roskoff, and we enjoy doing all the shows, and we have 15 shows every week. So we have plenty of programming right